Hi, I'm Chris Gramapre, and I want to help look at Google Jamboard and what that might look like in science class this year, especially when science is going to be mostly remote or hybrid. Um, I think Jamboard is a great tool to use. It's basically a virtual whiteboard. You can write sticky notes like Post-it notes. You can actually write text in there. You can draw in there, and you can paste in images. I think my vision would be using this to set norms in class, to populate a driving question board where kids can post a question both at the start, but anytime in a given unit. I want to use word walls on Jamboard. I want to have models developed through Jamboard that we can work on individually or whole class. I'm going to show some examples, and these come from a lot of them come from Open Syed and the professional development I've gotten this summer around that. Here's an example of a driving question board, and you can see these sticky notes in different colors. And so the questions are in yellow and green as the categories. Here's an example where we had green dots so that we could talk about, so we could drag them to questions that we really thought were important. This is one that I've used to help set norms. We talk about on one side what the norms look like in a regular classroom, and on the other side what they look like in a virtual setting. And here's where people drew an X next to a norm that they felt we were doing well on, and one they think we need to work on. Here's a word wall, the beginning of one. Here's the beginnings of a notice and wonder chart that we can fill in together once kids have marked their own notices and wonderings down on their notebook. And then here's an example of sharing some models that we've made where kids can take a snapshot of their own model and upload it to Google Jamboard. Let's use it a little bit. So when you get to Google Jamboard, let me move my image up here, you'll see this little plus sign down the bottom, and you'll click on that, and that will start a new Jamboard. And up at the top, you see it says one of one, and you can have two or three. You can have endless Jamboards, and so you can have one unit with lots of different boards for different purposes. Let's go through some of the tools. Over here, you've got the pen tool, and if you click on it a second time, you can choose the type of pen, even a highlighter. You can choose the color of it, and basically, you can just draw whatever. You can draw shapes. You can draw whatever you need to. And if you have a stylus or a touch screen, it can be a little bit more involved. The next tool is an eraser, so you can go back and say, oh, I didn't really mean to do all of that. And you can start erasing it. This is just a pointer tool. It can take something and move it around. That doesn't really work for drawings, but it does for sticky notes and it does for images. Let's make a sticky note. What is the purpose of Jamboard? So if you write a sticky note, you can write it here, and then you can choose your color here. You click save, and it'll pop up here, and then you can write another one or just click away from it. And say, what is the purpose of Jamboard? And you can move that around here now using the pointer tool. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, and you can even duplicate it so you have two of the same kind. And if you ever want to edit it, just click on it, click edit, and then you can change colors, you can change the words, whatever. All right. So I think that's really helpful because you can actually group those together. You can have the whole class come up with a question each, and you can put them all on the same board together. Next one is add image. So you can actually say, hey, I'm looking to add a star, so we can really star the best questions, ones that we agree with. So you have this star put in, make it maybe a small size, and then you can put it up on the top part of your Jamboard, and when students come in, they can copy and paste it with Control C and Control V, and then they can drag their star to whichever comment they think matches most closely with their thinking. Some users have some shapes here. I'm a little confused on who does and doesn't have access, so I wouldn't count on having these shapes here. But you can have shapes of lots of different things. Same thing with the text box. Teachers have a laser, which is really cool. So you can click and hold, and you can circle whatever, and it's only temporary. So if you say, hey, take a look at this star up here and copy and paste it, you can drag it around so kids will see that, but you're not leaving any permanent marks. So I hope Jamboard's useful to you. I know it's useful to me.